Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Mike Sokoll. He's the Senior Managing Director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk with our midday update. We're also going to take a look at some ISM Manufacturing and Services data. Mike, it's great to have you back with me as always, and no surprise to see why the market is up today following those headlines this morning.
Yeah, so we're up 200 today. We're kind of climbing out of the hole that was from yesterday. So the market's been underpinned all year really on three main things. One is the Fed being accommodating Trump in trade talks, and then you have hopefully a slow but not stalling economy. So in November we were up 4%, and year to date for some Nasdaq indexes is up 30%. Yesterday we got a little bit of a scare because Trump said he was musing on maybe that you don't need a trade deal until after the November 2020 election, which takes out maybe underpinning, takes out one of the underpinning legs for the rally. Today we're rebounding because I think his handlers got out there and quickly said, well, maybe that's just him speaking off the cuff, and we're still probably on pace to get a trade deal done in December, with December 15th, of course, being a key date. So we're rebounding a bit today. Yeah,
no surprise to see the backtracking there.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our first chart of the day. It's ISM Manufacturing. What are we looking at longer term here?
Yeah, I hope you can see that. I mean, the basic premise here on the chart is more towards the end, is that in the last 4 months we've had readings on or about 48. And any number below 50 indicates contraction. So you are seeing a real-world impact to some of the trade discussions. Some of the ISM Manufacturing survey components have to do with sentiment and what people believe to be about the future. And so you're getting some impact from the trade discussions and weakening perhaps. The GDP forecast has been ticking lower as a result of the ISM number. So for the manufacturing number, that really hurt stocks on Monday, and that's why I wanted to highlight it and contrast it to maybe the services number, which is a much larger component of the economy, and that's what's keeping us afloat in a sense.
All right, let's move along to our next chart here, where we are taking a look at services. Even still there, you're seeing a little bit of a downtick.
Yeah, a little bit of a downtick. The main thing is, again, that number 50, which indicates expansion. So the number had been running between 55 and 60 since the election, and has been ticking down. Now it's in like the 50 to 53 range. So still expansion, but slower. But again, services is a very key part of the economy. That's where we have some competitive advantages in things like banking and technology. So overall, when you net it out with the manufacturing, we're still not stalling. But you can see these numbers are coming in a little bit. It's just something to watch in addition to, of course, the trade commentary.
It's really interesting to see just how married the movement in stocks is on the trade commentary, because even with the ADP number this morning, it was almost, I think, half what expectations are. I'm curious to see what happens on Friday with the jobs number, and if that is another big miss, because could that potentially signal the uncertainty in what's happening with trade is hindering employment? Is that a possibility?
I think you nailed it. I mean, the market completely ignored the ADP number, and the futures number stayed about the same after it hit. And so you wonder, is it just the market discounting the fact that that's a noisy kind of a number, or if there's some other hopeful signs in the number that we're going to get from the BLS survey that we're going to get later this week.
Right. So, I mean, I would imagine that's going to be a big focus on Friday, unless, of course, we get another wild swing in terms of trade headlines.
You're one tweet away.
All right. Mike, thanks so much for joining us at Market Site. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.